Welcome everyone. We are in the Your Little Castle studio. Carter Rethwish here, aka a lot of people know me as the Cardinal Cowboy, but we've been having fun for a long time doing fun stuff. Got the cowboy hat here in the corner. There's my logo and all the fun stuff. And muscle-bound guy there, of course. That kind of represents, don't you think, Joe?
Yeah.
But we have had so much fun doing the stuff we do in the community because I feel like it makes an impact. And
Yes.
I decided to figure out a way to better do that. So we've got the Your Little Castle show. And so effectively, everybody needs to live in their own little castle. You get to do that in America, right?
Right, that's correct.
Kind of neat.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my guest here. This is Joe Brazel. He's the St. Charles County Councilman, District 2. And Joe has been doing this since 2000, and actually since 1990 in Florissant to 96, am I
Two
right?
terms in Florissant, yeah, from 90 to 96. Yeah,
And then-
that's correct.
Then since 2000, and we're at 2022, so that's 22 years. If you count 2000, then it's 20.
I'm one of them guys. I'm a career politician.
Career politician. Well, we will talk some politics. We're going to have you on the show again in the future and talk the political side of the world. That's interesting, especially from the councilman perspective, because when you're most people don't understand what councilman really is, right? I mean, it's a unique deal and something that people just what does a councilman really do? I mean, are you voted in office? Do you have politics? But we'll talk about all that later, how we save that for later and get into that whole discussion. But I would like you to talk to everybody a little about, to me, it's something exciting that I think is really important, because what else makes the world go round other than business, right? And so let's have a little discussion, if you don't mind, about how the business world is affected by business. And business is what provides all the funding, I think. You can track it down a bunch of ways, governments that gets involved. Again, not to get too political in this discussion, but what is the most exciting part about what's going on in St. Charles County? Because you're St. Charles County.
Well, St. Charles County, I represent Southwest St. Charles County, which is a lot of rural area. It's everything south of 40 all the way to Warren County, which is Augusta, Defiance, New Melle, Forestell, small town strong type atmosphere. And so those are communities in Lake St. Louis. I do represent Lake St. Louis as well. And so those are the communities that we represent. So with business in a wine district, for instance, most people don't know, Carter, that our wine district is the oldest and first wine district in the United States. And it's one of the largest, too. We have 67 wineries from St. Charles all the way to Herman. Most people would never know that. And so, we have to balance in that particular area, we have to balance the people who live there, the farmers, agriculture, the wineries, tourism. The new deal that just came in with Hoffman Properties has just purchased multiple wineries. He's doing a lot of good things in the area. But with that comes concerns from people who live there. The Hoffman Properties folks will often say, we're going to make this just like Napa. Well, a lot of people say we don't want this to be like Napa. Sure. We live out here because of the way it is and the way we like it. So you got to, as a councilman, you have to balance all those things. I've lived out there for 20, whatever that is, 25 years or something like that now. And so, I guess by this time I'm what you call a local, I guess.
20 years out there, you've been doing something. I would consider you a local.
You find in the rural area that you're not a local unless you're born from there, but you get that sometimes.
Florissant initially, of course, right? Well, I'd say, as a matter of business, I mean, that's probably the most impactful things. It made pretty big news. I don't know if it made national news or not, but it was certainly all over here in St. Louis, and they're talking about river boats and big barges, and now there's already one of those that's up on the Mississippi.
There's on the Mississippi. It's ported there right now because we're building a dock down in Augusta right now. So the way that came about is, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's good. Talk about that.
Okay, so the Hoffman Properties was trying to find a location on the Missouri River in the Augusta area, and they reached out to me and asked me if what my thoughts were, and I did say, we have Klondike Park, we have frontage on the Missouri River. And at the time, we had just passed in the budget $1 million dock that we're putting in for the citizens of the county at our park. And we have a boat ramp there. It's a really nice park. The Klondike Park's about 200 or 300 acres. There's little cabins there. Most people don't know that. It's got wonderful trails. It's on the Katy Trail. So since we were going to build $1 million dock anyway, I suggested to our Parks Department, let's see what Mr. Hoffman's going to offer us, and let's see if we can synergize our project with his project on putting this big boat there, right? So you can look at it both ways. Is this a good thing for the community? Is it not a good thing? It brings more traffic down on the weekends possibly, but it utilizes Missouri River, which is a beautiful river. So I own the Missouri River excursion business where I've been putting people out on the river in kayaks, canoes, and rafts for 6 years now with no problems. We go over safety, and people love it. So
okay, so is that the RV park that you?
No, I own an RV park. It's called Beyond the Trail RV Park. That's behind Good News Brewery.
Right.
And so we have 50 site hookups, full hookups, 3550, and sewage and water. And people love it. They love it. And there's so much to do. You can walk to the bars. You can walk to the wineries. You can ride your bike. You can go to parks. You can go to the Missouri River and go fishing. Go to Bush's Wildlife. There's a lot of things to do. Yeah.
Well, that's why I say that. So that to me is exciting because that's 15-minute drive from here or so, maybe 20 minutes to get all the way through.
Yeah.
But I'm a big river guy, and so I end up doing a lot of stuff on the Mississippi River. And I've had people tell me, one of the questions people have told me for years, like nobody goes on the Missouri because it's too rocky, too hard to navigate. And you're saying no, that's not the case at all. You got people all the time there. And tell me why should people enjoy the Missouri River?
Missouri River is beautiful. It's beautiful. And now I had a boat on Mississippi River too, and they're both similar. However, Missouri River flows a little bit quicker. It's not rocky. It has sandbars will appear sometimes when they weren't there a couple days ago, and that's one issue. But they have dikes all up and down the river where it's navigatable. There's barges that go up and down. So Missouri River is a wonderful river, and it's completely underutilized, completely. And actually, a lot of people do boat on it. They just don't have the real big boats because there's no gas. You know, if you have a big boat, you don't want to bring out 5-gallon gas cans all the time. So there's no gas on the Missouri River.
Yeah,
so
no docks.
No docks, no gas. So with this marina or this big dock that we're putting in, the county parks, Hoffman agreed to add to it. He's paying for all the infrastructure. He's going to get water, electric, and everything, and they're going to dock their boat there seasonally and for tourism. And so this is like you could put maybe 100 people, 200 people on this boat.
Right, and it's up on the Mississippi right now.
It's on the Mississippi. It's called Miss Augusta.
It's going to be on the
Miss or Mr. Augusta, one of the two.
Right. Okay, but that's short for Missouri or Mississippi, I guess.
Yeah.
So Miss. Okay.
Yeah. Miss Augusta. I think that's what it is for Augusta. It's in Augusta, Missouri.
No, I see them up there. We wave at them. We drive my boat past them. I think it kind of looks like a cruise ship.
Yeah. Right.
Multiple levels and everything.
Right.
And serve food and drinks.
Yeah.
Very neat. Well, okay, that's incredible. These interviews go very quick.
So we had to negotiate with him, and like the art of the deal. If you read a Donald Trump book, government is the most easiest people to negotiate. But there were some things that he was throwing at us, and I threw right back at him. And so then he said, "Well, we're not going to do the deal." And I said, "Well, go find your own place." And then they came back to us and gave us our deal.
Find a better place in this little United States.
Yeah, go find somewhere else. Yeah.
You can pull us off.
Right.
Well, good negotiation on our behalf there.
Yeah.
I know this is going to bring a lot of business, and that's again what I think is most important, because how do you provide so many jobs? How do people have a source of income? Tax revenue that's generated by that goes to all the parks and all the stuff that we do. Emergency.
That and he's building a hotel out in Augusta, in the town of Augusta, which is going to be really great. So that was just approved maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and that's right in the town of Augusta. Now he's talking about putting it in the rural area in agriculture, and I mentioned to their staff that probably was going to be very challenging and probably wouldn't pass through the plan and zoning because there's no infrastructure. So he agreed to move it in town, and so I think most people are happy with that, you know. And that also, you got to keep in mind, people like to drink out in the wineries, and which is fine, but they have to be careful drinking and driving. Sure. So we're trying to get shuttle services. We're trying to eliminate that. And so by having a hotel in town where they can shuttle people around makes it safer too for people, you know.
Well, and that's key to any business's survival. Safety is at core. I mean, when they talk about things, I won't mention any specifics because that's a negative topic. But if there's some kind of an issue publicly where somebody might have got hurt from whatever means, people get off free, especially if it's some kind of a weapon or something like that. And so those are things that keep people from. But if you've got all that lined up and things are in good order, then people will come, right? And
that's right.
That's what you're looking to do.
Right.
All right, Joe, this has been a great chat about an awesome topic when we get into it. And there we go. This is stuff that I know that really will impact a lot of people. And I think having somebody like you represent is key to this, because you got to understand all that stuff to make it happen, and get the people. That move you made to say, "Hey, go find somewhere else," that was big. And a lot of people might they'd be like, "Well, just do whatever they say because we want them here." No, let's get what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
And that's great negotiation skills, as they say. And I think what you're doing is awesome, and keep it up for us.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
We'll stay tuned for another segment of the Your Little Castle show. We'll be back for more. Stay tuned. Giddy up.
Can we talk?